has perfected the art of politics for personal gain. She reads ethics rules as carefully as Americans read their junk mail. Just look at her track record. She used her post as Secretary of State to grease the wheels for Democrat lobbyists, special interests, and political insiders connected to the corrupt Clinton machine.
The chairman of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus of Wisconsin, at the podium earlier tonight in Cleveland, taking aim, surprise, surprise, taking rhetorical aim, we should say, at former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, the presumptive Democrat nominee. You're looking live at what's going on at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland right now, right down the street from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the G.E. Smith Band rocking it out, and a little bit different music from the old days of conventions. And you may remember that distinctive look of G.E. Smith kind of there in the background from his vocalist. It used to be, the house band for Saturday Night Live back in the day as they cover that Rod Stewart tune. And see Dr. Gina and some of our other friends in the crowd. It is kind of wild. You know, having been in politics and in broadcasting, our old pal Dr. Gina Loudon was down there. And some other folks who, honestly, I don't know, but they seem to be having a good time tonight at the Republican National Convention. Donald Trump's acceptance speech, a little bit after 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock's about 10 minutes away. And we're happy to take some of your phone calls while they're jamming at the RNC tonight. 1-877-NEWSMAX. That's 1-877-639-7629. And we are rejoined by a guy who... he's a band of one. He's Javier Manjarres, the managing editor.
Mariachi band of one.
There you go, pal. Of the Shark Tank political blog. And it's TV talk on the Super where they put up your name, they put up the title of the book. Here's your chance, Javi, to again tell folks about your book. The name of it is...
Brown People.
The Disunited, or what is the subtitle? The Disunited State of Amigos, is that it? Or Disgruntled State of Amigos?
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that.
Brown people. You know, it's interesting you chose that because actually back in the day when I had the Enforcement First bill, and there's the cover of Javi's book. And look who he put on the cover, himself. Well, that's cool. I did that with my book too. But anyway, I tell you what, rather than talk about cover art, or cover songs for Rod Stewart, let's go to the phones. Ron joins us now. Ron, welcome to Newsmax TV.
Good evening, JD. I got to call you guys and let you know, give you a little comfort to all American patriots and Republicans out there about the Latino vote. I know literally hundreds of Latinos. I've known them 30, 40, 50 years. They're all good, hardworking American citizens. And in regards to these polls where they're showing that Trump is doing very badly and Clinton's winning, don't believe them too much because all of these people that I know, in private, everyone is going to vote for Donald Trump, every one of them. But when the pollsters call and when they're amongst strangers, then they all say that they're voting for Clinton. So keep your chin up. Things are looking good with the Latino vote.
Well, good, Ron. And you set up for Wisconsin really something that's worth talking about, Javier, with your background in political consulting. And we touched on it briefly last night with Dennis Michael Lynch, the notion of a, quote, hidden Trump vote. Some pundits and pollsters say there's about a 5 to 7% margin in the popular vote where people, as Ron was suggesting, will vote contrary to what they may be telling pollsters or what they may be telling friends and neighbors. Do you believe there is, in fact, a hidden Trump vote?
I don't know if it's hidden. I think there's a lot of people that he relates to. People like his being very off the cuff. People can relate to that. He speaks like everyone else, even though he is a billionaire. He speaks like Joe Schmo down the street, the next guy on the corner. But again, I think the main issue should be at the Republican Party, and Donald Trump should be trying just to mitigate the damage Democrats do. They're going to get their black vote. They're going to get their Hispanic vote. It's just how much of that vote can Donald Trump pick off because of the appeal he does have with these people. I've spoken to a lot of Hispanics. A lot of them aren't going to vote for him because they think he's racist. That narrative is still out there, but a lot will. I've spoken to some African Americans, and they will vote for Donald Trump because they see that, hey, we could prosper better with Donald Trump as opposed to Hillary Clinton. So I think it's a mixed bag. I think it can go either way. Again, if he can get a few more Hispanics to vote for him, a few more blacks to vote for him, I think that's the hidden vote in itself.
All right, let's go back to the phones to Springfield, Virginia. Carrie is on the line. Carrie, welcome to Newsmax TV.
Thank you.
Go right ahead, ma'am.
I am very, very concerned that Donald Trump has not mentioned anything about GMOs. The fact that Hillary Clinton has been on the board of Monsanto, as has her potential running mate, Vilsack. And I think it's really, really important that the American people know what we are eating.
And let's talk about that for a second, because you abbreviated as GMOs. It's genetically modified. Help me with the O there.
Obama.
Yeah, genetically modified food is basically what it is.
And this is the concern, and you're pointing out the corporate relationship Hillary's had with Monsanto and Tom Vilsack, now Secretary of Agriculture, correct? That's where you're taking us with this?
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And well, you know, the great thing is you've pointed it out tonight on national television. What would you like to see a Trump administration do in that regard?
I want them to be transparent. I want everything to be labeled. I want to know what I'm eating, and I don't want somebody to tell me that I have to eat poison because the agriculture supply is not what they want it to be. So in other words, I want to know what's in my food.
Yeah, bottom line is truth in labeling, and that's especially true for countries of origin. You want to know where stuff is from, and Carrie raises the whole concern about genetically modified food. Javi, there's another concern, and this is very interesting in terms of the fact that the likely Republican nominee, though she rails rhetorically against Wall Street and big business, as Carrie just pointed out, Hillary is very cozy with corporate America, though her campaign rhetoric tends to try to take the other tack.
And let me correct, you said Republican's Democratic nominee.
Excuse me, the Democratic, a lot of words going on in my head, a lot of things to try and remember. So I thank you for correcting the record. If this were the House, I would have prefaced that remark by asking unanimous consent to revise and extend. But I'm glad you're listening and made the correction. Yes, in stark contrast to the likely, tonight's Republican nominee, he got the nomination, he accepts it here in just a little while. Trump is a guy, I guess it was D.C. McAllister who came on and said that the analogy she has about Mr. Trump is it's like the computer hackers that businesses and government hire to catch the dishonest computer hackers. Because Trump has been part of the system, he says, hey, look, here's the way you get reform. You listen to me, and we'll take it from there. So he's an insider who's got an outside game that, if not anti-corporate, is very different from Hillary Clinton.
I think so, but I don't think he's beholden to specialists as Hillary Clinton is. These people have donated to Hillary Clinton. She's beholden to them. She has a little payback to give, but I don't think Donald Trump, like they mentioned earlier, I think his daughter Ivanka said, or his son, that he doesn't need the job. He wants the job, and I don't think like I said, he's not going to be beholden to special interests like Hillary Clinton is.
All right, Javier Manjarres tonight from our Newsmax TV newsroom. As always, Javi, we appreciate your point of view.